What's up, guys? Starting off with deadlifts, 525 3x3, and then 2x5 on the block pulls with the same weight. We bumped 25 pounds from the previous week. I did go to the straps on the last set of deadlifts. It was a little chilly. The bar just destroys my fucking hands, so it is what it is. The work needs to be done. We got it in there. Um, you know, I would imagine I could confidently say last week that deadlifts felt better, um, but they didn't feel like complete crap this week either. So again, I'm always and forever happy to have deadlift days that don't feel like doo doo. But yeah, so progressing there. I can't wait to get done with this block and change bars. And see how it's affected my grip and perception of how a regular bar feels there. So yeah, and the block pulls, I don't know, I want to say like from the floor has always felt better to me. And it's still, I feel like it feels better, except it's really hard to say that after you do all your working sets, and then you're going into your block pulls already fatigued. Grabbing the 4 rubber mats is fatiguing in and of itself. Those things are fucking horrible to tote around. I pinch grip them. If anybody has a Rogue deadlift platform, you know the mats I'm talking about. So I pinch grip them, and I have to carry them, I don't know, probably 100 feet or so to move them. So, it's really, I'm getting extra grip work in between the deadlifts and the block pulls. By the time I get there, the way I'm holding them in the pinch grip, my grip's starting to fail anyway. So it's, I guess you could count that as an accessory. Just getting set up for these, and of course, unloading the deadlift bar and then putting them back as well. The worst part of deadlifts is always loading and unloading. Bench, same day, of course. I did 405 for a double. I did a bench and a Larson press. I was just explaining to a friend, the lack of difference in technique and intensity of a bench press and a Larson press when you're proficient in both of them. They're, really a very similar movement, and there's not going to be a huge difference in your bench press and your Larson press. Contrary to popular belief, having good leg drive on bench press isn't going to add another plate to your bench press. Being tight, set up really good, having good leg drive, it's small pieces of the bigger picture, and it's preventing power leaks. You're going to be within 10%, probably. There's always going to be exceptions based on individual leverages and stuff, but your Larson press and your bench press aren't going to be completely different or far off from each other. As far as the squats, this is where the title comes from. I didn't fail anything. I was filming a depth angle. However, the shitty lighting at my work and wearing all black clothes, you can't really get a good feel for the depth there anyway. I'm sure it was fine. I just wanted to, get a good look at it on camera. I should probably wear some brighter shorts next time or something like that. I never take into account for lighting and things of that sort because I suck at YouTubing. So, but yeah, that was 505 for a beltless single. I moved on to 445 for a 5x5. So we bumped another 20 pounds on a 5x5 here. Honestly, after the first set, I was like, holy shit, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this happen. But as you can see, by set 3, I really found my groove. And probably 4, and then set 5 was probably my best set. So finished strong there. Squats are really feeling good. There's going to be a heavy single I'm trying to count weeks in my head right now. Either be 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now. I'm trying to figure out the deload and everything. But I'll do another heavy single at that point. So see kind of where my squat's heading. Again, the 5x5s are feeling good. I always, argue with myself about warming up too much, not warming up enough. And again, judging by the first set of my squats versus the last set of my squats, I'm not warming up enough. Because my first set just felt like absolute dog shit. And again, led me to believe that, holy fuck, this might not happen. But I finished very strong. Went to the heel elevated squats afterwards again. This time I put my flat shoes on and I put 25s under my heels instead of the 100 that I've been using. Like I mentioned last week, the elevation on that was really extreme, and it seemed like it was doing a lot more for my calves than anything, and I really don't give a fuck about that. I'm trying to hammer my quads. These, I can load these heavier, obviously, because it's, much less of a angle there. And just as far as like the mind muscle feeling, I definitely felt more of a quad burn with this elevation than I have previously with, the really high altitude squats. And, again, there's also something to be said for being able to up the intensity. Those 265 for sevens with the super high elevation felt fucking terrible. As far as, performing the movement, these didn't feel nearly as bad. The weight didn't feel as heavy. And I felt more burn, if you will, in my quads. Whereas the other, I felt like I was feeling a lot of calf burn. So moved on to rows. I actually did my rows this week. I had the time. I think I did 225 for 4 sets of 10. So our last rows we did were 5x7. So we added, 5 total reps more in volume and 1 less set. No real rhyme or reason behind it. I'm not super worried about how I progress with these. Ultimately, these are just killing time, until I start introducing a second pressing day again. So just any progress right now, be it in total tonnage or intensity, volume, etc., any little progressions are fine. This is not a movement that I'm, again, worried about going to have to peak or anything like that, just as long as we keep moving forward. So that said, my shoulder is feeling much, much better. I did some some empty bar OHPs warming up for these today, and I felt zero aggravation at all in my shoulder. I'm still not going to bring those all the way back yet, but just little small increments of progress and being pain-free is the way to go. Went with 275 this week, made a 50-pound jump on the suitcase holds. When I get it centered correctly, like right here, it's not too bad. I have the hardest time with getting centered on my grip. And a lot of times you'll see one side or the other sticking way up or way down, and it's like right here you can see the bar going backwards on me. It makes it a little bit harder to do it, but again, when I get it centered, which seems like, I don't know, maybe 40% of the time I get it right, it doesn't feel too bad. But I'd like to be up for 3 plates on this to feel relatively comfortable by the time I'm done doing these. So yeah, that's where we're going. Again, another few weeks and I'll be doing some heavy singles, and that's what I'm looking forward to.